everybody. Welcome. This is Zenzi and Luna. This is Turning Everything into Gold. We're doing this podcast today on gratitude as we move into November and Thanksgiving. Just super grateful to be a part and have you guys joining us today. I'm going to turn it over to Luna and let her start today with gratitude. Yeah.
So I would have to say the last 3 years of the spiritual journey that I've been on, gratitude has been like the most important energy that I've learned or that I have put into practice. Every morning, my morning starts with I wake up and I'm just like, thank you. Thank you for what? Thank you for waking up. Thank you for whatever happened yesterday. Thank you for whatever's going to happen today. Thank you for, and just finding things to be thankful for. And it really, 5-10 minutes of just sitting in bed. And sometimes it's just saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Because I can't even, because I'm so thankful for everything that I can't even verbalize what exactly I'm thankful for. Because it's literally everything. Like, thank you for the bad night of sleep I got, because tonight's sleep is going to be even that much more amazing because I'm going to be so tired. Thank you for the good night's sleep that I got because I'll be able to have a great day today. Thank you for the day that I'm going to have today. Even if it's bad, it's still a great day because I'm awake. Thank you. So gratitude for me has been the most important practice. My favorite holiday, growing up, I would say was Halloween because you got candy. But I would say as an adult has changed to Thanksgiving. There's no gifts. There's no, it's just like, let's have a good meal. Let's sit down. Let's all talk about what we're thankful for. Like, let's just be in the space of thankfulness. And we have football too. So
And you're thankful.
And I'm extra thankful when the Dallas Cowboys lose. No offense to any Cowboys fans out there. But no, it's just, I think you have to be grateful and thankful for even when things like aren't working out the way that you want them to, you know, and you're going through things and you're like, why is this happening? And just stop and say, thank you. Thank you that I'm still here. Thank you that, because there's plenty of people that aren't having these experiences, that wish that they could have these experiences, or are in this world. You know, we something good happens to us and we can't even be thankful or grateful for it because it's not exactly what we wanted, or something better happened to somebody else, and we're constantly judging the things that we should be grateful and thankful for on markers that really don't exist. They just exist in our mind. And so I just think gratitude in all things, you know. Thank you that I got the job. Thank you that I got fired. I mean, I couldn't have said that 6 years ago when I got fired. I got my job back, but, you know, I couldn't have even seen in that moment how that was like the best thing that ever happened to me. And I certainly wasn't thankful for it. But now I look back and I'm just like such immense gratitude for all things and everything. So I think as a spiritual practice, gratitude is super, super important. And teaching that to other people, especially our children, where, you know, they're not, when I was growing up, my mother and my stepfather used to always say how ungrateful we were. You're so ungrateful, you're so ungrateful. And I really, when people tell you that, you start to embody that. You know, you're not grateful for anything. You get that sense of entitlement and you think, oh, I deserve things, and there's no gratitude. And you'll really see things, for me, in my life begin to dry up when there's no gratitude. You know, it doesn't, how can we give you more if you're not grateful for what you already have? So I think that has been, that the awakening of that mindset has been life-changing for me. And I try to be grateful for everything, sometimes it's really hard. And then I have to get present in the moment. And also it's hard to be grateful when you're in past thoughts and when you're in future thoughts. There's really, my favorite author is Eckhart Tolle. He's German, I think. He lives in Canada now. And he's one of my favorite authors. He's a teacher. And he says, the only moment that we have now is the present moment. When people are suffering, it's because they're living in the past or they're living in the future moment. And neither of those have happened, or the future hasn't happened, and this has already passed, so it doesn't exist anymore. And so I'm so grateful for everything that's happened in the past and in the future, but really being present in the moment and being like, thank you that there's traffic today and I get to listen to this whole podcast instead of just 20 minutes. Now I have 30 minutes in the car. And thank you for Starbucks having pumpkin spice lattes. That would be my daughter's gratitude, not mine. Not really a Starbucks girl.
This is like turning all the situations, like we're turning everything into gold, really, because when you set out with that intention of gratitude, it allows the universe to flow it back to you, and it really keeps that vibration going. That's one of the gifts that opens the door to continue to flow.
It's a high vibration.
100%. And even like, I love you just said, thank you that there's traffic because I get to continue to listen. You're finding the goodness and the sweetness in the moment, what to be grateful for, even though, man, you can lose it on the road when you're late, or you're going to be late, and you're like, well, there's nothing I can do anyway, so let me enjoy what I'm doing.
Every day.
Especially here in Florida, guys.
In the car. Oh my gosh.
I think it's the
Y'all
worst.
be coming here from other places and acting wild, okay?
I think it's the people that live here too, though.
No, 100%. But like
It's
this
so
guy
crazy.
from California, I love you, California, but Alfa Romeo, he was everywhere and nowhere. I didn't see him, and then he was there, and then I was like, oh my gosh. But like in Florida, they like to make a lane where no lane ever existed nor will exist, and they're up on their side, and it's like
Crazy drivers.
And honestly, when I'm delayed, I say thank you, because I don't know what was coming like down the road, like these, especially when it comes to driving.
But being grateful for that finding the gratitude in the moment. Okay, I'm going to be thankful. I get to listen to this for another 10. That is the magic of what gratitude can do for anything, good things and bad. And it is challenging when you're in the middle of something. But what an amazing way to pick out the sweetness of that moment that you're like, yes, I can. I'm not gonna. You're not gonna get there any earlier, anyways. Being upset. So
that is okay. I just side note. I don't understand why when we're on the side of the road and we're both going to the same place, and you get there 2 seconds before me, you just put everyone's life at risk. Thank you that we all didn't die because of the way that you're driving. But no, I saw this lady yesterday. I was going from one metaphysical shop to another. And this lady, she was in the car next to us, and she was like angry, and she was like punching her hand, and I was like, what's going on over there? Like, ooh, and she was not happy. But yeah, so
I think life manifests in the car. I think that what is going on in your world internally,
especially when we spend so much time in the car,
that's like you're in this space that you're inside
bubble.
And then I think it manifests. I think it manifests on the road. So I think some of the things that come in, emotions are I don't know, it just feels like that's a download of everything going on, and aggressive or violent sometimes, or rushing, or I can't stand being late, so that can create anxiety. So it could be different things from anxiety or things you're dealing with in your life. So there's so much that happens on the road besides just driving. Yeah, you know what I'm. Besides
like
driving,
life is lifing people out there, like on the road. And I think the cell phones, and when I see people like driving and like actively scrolling on the phone,
well, that also has emotion too. Not just that, but what are you looking at on top of it? And then you're not fully engaged. It's a lot of. I think it's just a lot of stress. And when you see those people making an S across,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to stay back here.
Thank you, I'm back here.
I'm just going to slow down. It's
Thank
okay.
Thank you, because I don't want to be up. No, I'm done. I'm looking all around. Thank you. No. I say that all the time. I learned that, I would say, gosh, 15 years ago. No, 10 years ago, we'll say, when I used to listen to Joel Osteen, who is, he's come under fire for a lot, but I got a lot out of him when I started listening to him. I was in a super deep depression. I was the mother of 2 young children, and he was saying things that were uplifting to me. And one of the things he spoke on was gratitude, one of his sermons. And he said, thank you for delaying me, because I didn't know what was coming down the road, and perhaps there was an accident there. And I will say, synchronicity coming in.
That's our next one. Let's do the next one.
We're going to talk about synchronicities next. I could talk about that for hours.
I can't wait.
Oh my God, that's going to be so exciting. My husband and I were at, where were we? I want to say BJ's, Target, somewhere like that. And there's a way that we always go home. And he was like, oh, I'm going to go this other way home. And I was like, okay. And something happened. Maybe the lines were like super long at BJ. I don't remember what it was, but we were at a store, and it was just like taking longer. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever today. So we go home, and as we're going home, we can see the major highway in Central Florida is I-4. We can see I-4, and it's all backed up. And because he said, oh, I think I-4 is backed up. And I was like, oh, how would you know that? Like, he was like, oh, I think I saw it on the way here. And I was like, okay. So we go home, and I look to my right, and I-4 is flowing. And I was like, no, dude, like I-4, there's no traffic. And he was like, look over there. And there was like a fresh accident right there. And I was like, thank you, because whatever delayed us, or whatever thought he had while we were at the store, that could have been us, but for the grace of God, there go I. That could have easily been us. And I feel that a lot when I used to be like, oh, I don't want to be late. Like you said, oh, I don't want to be late, because I was taught when you're late, it's disrespectful to other people's time. And I think most people know me who know that if I'm late, it's very out of character for me. Something has happened. Like, I'm okay, but something has happened. So, and I'm just grateful that I made it there.
I feel like that's changing.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just feel right now that you might start being a little bit later, and a little bit later, and a little bit later.
To be honest with you, I'm not even going to lie. Now I'm just like, I'll get there when I get there.
The
doctor doesn't care if he's on time. I'll get there when I get there. Like, that's where I'm.
That's
but,
funny.
There's places that you have to be on time,
right.
Time is really. I have so many ideas on things that I'm sure when I talk, people say, like, she never would have said this 5 years ago, but like, time doesn't really exist. I mean, it exists when you have to be somewhere. Like, when I have to be to work at 6:45 in the morning, it exists. I have to be there. But I don't let it stress me out anymore. And so I'm thankful for that. Because I'm grateful and thankful because for such a long time I was like, I'd have to be somewhere that's 10 minutes away, and I'd leave my house an hour early because I was so stressed out. And I just don't have that stress because, I once again, I don't think that, time does exist. It exists. It exists, but everything is relative. I don't even know what that means, but that's what I'm saying here right now. And I'm grateful for that thought because I'm not under the stress anymore of, I'll get there when I get there. And I have a friend who, she's always late. She's always late to everything, even things that are important. We were late to her wedding. She's always late. But I now understand her more, and I'm super thankful for that because I used to think like, oh, she doesn't respect me. has nothing to do with that.
It has nothing to, when you're late, it has
nothing to do with the other person.
Nothing to do, not at all, not even a little tiny bit.
Yeah.
Now they could take offense to that, which would be their decision or choice to do that, but it's nothing about that other person whatsoever.
Which, we're just so programmed from our families and from our societies or from our communities that we grew up in. She just grew up in a family where it was like, you'll get there when you get there. And I grew up in a family that was like, if you're not 5 minutes early, you're late. And that really, it's what I taught my children. And so now they have that hyper awareness, and I'm trying to like deprogram. They're just like, we can't do this. That doesn't make sense to us. But I did marry a person and I get there, when I get there, I'll be there.
I love that.
And
I love that.
Oh my God, we had so many fights. I'll never forget the fight we had on the way here when I was like, we're gonna be late. And when we rolled in and he was like, right on time. And I was like, so I'm thankful. I'm thankful in all aspects of, learning new things. I'm grateful and thankful that I'm learning these things, because they were things that controlled my life that made it very hard to live with and very hard to be, like, for me.
It softens things. I can feel it even as you're talking. It like smooths the edges out. It takes the tension away. It's when you can move with gratitude, and everything seems to, like, you find the sweetness in what's happening, and it doesn't weigh on you. Yeah. So it smooths everything out. And
we need to get past this idea that there are things in life that we shouldn't do or don't have to do because we don't want to. And we should just be grateful that we have the opportunity to do them. Like laundry. Some people don't like to do laundry. Be grateful you have a washing machine. Be grateful that you have clothes. Be grateful that you have... I can find all the gratitude in doing laundry. I don't like to fold,
well, there's certain things that you may not like to do, but I think it's... even having that thought, you get through it and you're able to do it. And I think once you... And I'm just going to say experience of mine. So I got a houseboat and I wanted to renovate it. And so I was in the renovation process, and I was gutting it and doing all these things. There was no washer and dryer. And so I had to go to the laundromat, which I haven't done in forever. And that's a process, because then I have to take 20 minutes to go to there and then do. And so I'm thinking, man, I'm so grateful at the other house, I actually have a regular laundry room. And so, and when I was having people stay, there's all the running, and I guess when it's not there, we talked a little bit about, I'm shifting to when you said you took the trip to Mount Shasta, and there was days that you didn't get to shower because you were out on the road driving and there's nothing around.
Do campgrounds.
And when you finally get to take a shower, you're like, this is the best experience in the world.
Yes. This feels amazing.
I've had that when I was on my retreat house up in North Carolina in the mountains, and the well went out, and it was 7 days, 8 days. And then I said, okay, 2 more days, I'm going to go. I can't do this little tub, like bowl bath kind of thing. I'm going to have to go.
In my house, we call them a hoe bath or a lick and a promise. That's what we call it.
Oh my gosh.
That's how they used to bathe back in,
You do what you got to do. And I remember somebody saying, wow, you're a real champ. You can stay out in the woods and not take a bath. And I'm like, I've got 2 more days in me, and then I'm going to get a hotel. Because I was trying, it's so far out in the mountains that I didn't want to. And I'm waiting for them to come. They put us up on the list to be able to come do fix the well. But it worked out. But so grateful. Even though, okay, well, we're going to get through this, is what we're having to do. But how much do I appreciate a shower now?
Exactly. I'm so grateful for the shower, but also I'm grateful for the experience of, not having to worry about bathing, or because it's just not, it just is what it is. And when you're a kid, and you don't want to take a bath, that is where you get back to. I'm already dirty. Just get dirtier, stuff living under my fingernails, but whatever. I'm good. You can always splash some water on your face. No.
Just when the things that you get all the time, and when you're not able to use it, how amazing, just so grateful for running water and
food on the table.
That's
you
it.
know,
Just
there's so
everything.
much. They're like just little things every day. And I have, I do this course, and I'm involved in this group. This woman, she's an intuitive. She's from America. She lives in Europe now. Her name's Sonia Choquette. She was like, literally go in your journal. This is the assignment for today, and just write everything that you're thankful for. Everything. Thank you for. And it was like, she does a lot of these exercises, which are amazing. My favorite is the I wonder. We'll talk about that in another podcast. When you're okay, no, don't save it. Save it
Well,
for
you
later.
say it, and then it's
save
like
it for later. Okay, I wonder. Okay,
I'm gonna.
Okay, we'll do I wonder first. When you're in a negative space and you want to pull yourself out of it, I wonder why the sky is blue. I wonder. Just start asking questions. I wonder why birds fly, or my thing was, I wonder if the birds like to fly in the rain. I wonder why it rains. I wonder, like, things you just wonder, and it puts you in a space. It takes you out of that low vibrational space, and so does this thank you, gratitude practice, and just puts you in a higher vibration. And so the thank you practice was everything you're thankful for. Thank you for the bird that I just saw outside. Thank you for my car. Thank you for my husband. Thank you for my job. Thank you. And just write until you can't think of anything to be thankful for. Do you know? You just never stop writing. So if you got somewhere to be, like, you won't be getting there, because you can always find something else to be grateful or thankful for. And I think
it's very hard. I'm just going to shift real quick to saying there were some family members that were working with people struggling to get back on their feet. And they were talking, and they had a gratitude circle, and they were talking about it. And there was a gentleman there. You don't know people's lives and why they're there, what's going on. It's so difficult, different things happening in people's lives. And he was the one person who couldn't find one thing to be grateful for. And I remember family members went and just kind of gathered around him to talk to him and try to lift him up. But how heavy and how challenging that must be, to be in such a place where you're so oppressed or so depressed,
you can't even think.
that it's hard to think. And people might be in a space, you might be hearing this and be like, you have no idea what I'm going through right now. So how do I find gratitude in this moment? And I'm thinking also about, we did a podcast talking about some things that I was going through, and it was challenging. So how do you break that? How can you, if you've ever been in that space where things are so horrendous that your mind doesn't even go to be grateful? I'm just trying to survive.
I think right now you have described, I want to say, I don't want to put it this high, but 90%, 70, 75, 85, 90, whatever, of society right now, where they're just so focused on what they don't have. I think a lot of people focus on what they don't have, or you don't know because my son just passed away, or you don't understand, I just lost my husband of 50 years and I don't have that anymore. But what do you have? Like, if you can just start in that little small tiny space of what do you have? I have the breath in my lungs. Just start there. And you'll be able to find more things that you can be grateful for, and it will make you feel better, and you'll start to feel better and better. And that's why I say start the day with this practice. Like, really sit there and think. And if you can't think of anything, just say thank you. Just say thank you, because God, creator, spirit, whatever you want to call the divine energy of the universe, will understand what you're thankful for.
I love
even
the
if
way
you can't
to start.
put it into words.
I love that, because
I love starting my day that way.
It's
I love it.
hard to muster that feeling of gratitude, because maybe it's just so horrendous right now and you're barely even able to get out of bed.
Thank you. I opened my eyes.
There you go. I like the cues to be able to get that ball, because it's like trying to get the ball rolling, the ball of energy moving
and
forward.
I've been there. Like, I've been there where I was like, oh, no thank you. Close them. Like, like, I can't. I couldn't be grateful for the house that I had because we didn't own it, or I couldn't be grateful for the car that I had because it wasn't the car that I wanted, or I couldn't be grateful that, it was always, when I was in that energy, I was always comparing myself to other people and what other people had and what I didn't have, thinking that if when I did get there, I would be grateful. You're never going to get there. How are you going to get there? If you're not grateful for what you have, how can we give you more? And it took me a long time to realize, and I think I have an 18-year-old, and I will not say that he's not grateful. I will say that he is definitely struggling to find gratitude in things. He hates his job, wants a different job. It's really tough economy, job market right now, especially for his age, because 18-year-olds don't really have a good track record of being good employees. He's great, I will say that, but he's generally judged by other people and their behaviors. And anyways, he's having a hard time with gratitude. And every time he comes to me with something, I'm like, okay, but thank God you have a job. Thank you that because a lot of people, for example, he went to this job fair the other day. It started at 11. At like 11:05, they were like, all the jobs are filled. Like, just go home.
What?
Yeah. And I said, well, that tells me a couple
Wow.
things. But he was like, I'm so annoyed right now. I'm like, be thankful you have a job, though. Like, those people were there because they don't have a job and they need a job. They need a paycheck. Be grateful you're going to work in a couple of hours.
You're helping to direct him. Just
Yeah.
like different things to shift that, because you're like a magnet, so that will start attracting things to you.
Like
so you're really
attracts
trying
like, so.
to really get his mind on what he does want.
Yeah. So when
Grateful.
you have that energy of non-gratitude, that's what you'll get more of.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have that energy of, thank you. I mean, I've seen a huge increase in my life and in the things that I've wanted to manifest just by having that practice of gratitude. Which, when I didn't have it before, everything seemed so hard. Like, why? I'm working hard, but I'm not getting what I want, or I'm not really working as hard as I should. But shouldn't the universe just give me what I want? Isn't that the law of manifestation? And there's several things that come with manifestation. That's another podcast. And gratitude, I think, is like the base of everything. The root of everything is gratitude. So I think that's what we should be teaching ourselves and each other is,
Start small. Start with the small
whatever
things.
you can.
Everything, even then, it changes to the turning even the most challenging situations into a positive, and I think that's so important.
There's a positive in everything.
Yes,
even
I love that.
Everything. And I know, like, some people would say, oh, my daughter's a drug addict, and we're not in communication because I've had to cut. Okay, what are you getting out of that? You're learning something from that. There's something in there to be grateful for. Just find it and just like hold on to it, and then other things will come. And it changes. And gratitude and prayer and things like that change what's happening around you.
Mm-hmm.
And I
That's
think
100%
gratitude,
true.
if you can't pray, like most people can't pray because of religious reasons or whatever, just have a practice of gratitude as that's a form of prayer.
I mean, prayer, though, you're really working in that spirit world, that energy, spirit world, and it will manifest in the physical. So prayer is key. Setting intention, positivity, gratitude is just, it'll keep it circulating back. I mean, it just brings it back into your life. So my favorite, though, is the driving and being like, I'm gonna be late, because I can't stand being late, but I'm always late. It just doesn't matter. I mean, time doesn't connect to me. Very
That's what
difficult.
I'm saying when I say
very
time
difficult.
doesn't exist. I don't like.
especially when I'm in the middle of doing an energy clearing and I'm working, we're diving into deep spiritual things where the person's healing. I mean, we're engaged in this. Yes, you booked 60 minutes, but 60 minutes up, bye. It doesn't work like that. If we're right in the middle,
we have to
I
see
try
it
to
through.
do, I have to like have a closure at least. It needs to, time is just very difficult for me to stay on to. So finding that I love it. It's a sweet point of, I get to finish listening to this podcast and rushing, it doesn't matter because we're not going anywhere anyway. So I'm going to get there when I get there.
We're all getting there. We're all, and that's what I used to be a super competitive person until I realized we're all getting to the finish line. Like the finish line is death. We're all getting there. Are we getting there together?
The finish line is death.
The finish line is, let's be grateful for it.
We're all going to make that finish line.
The finish line's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It doesn't matter. But we're all going to get there together or separate, but we're all getting there. Period. End of discussion. Have some gratitude along the way. I think that is huge.
I love that.
In how joy manifests, how peace, inner peace, gratitude is huge for inner peace.
That's interesting. As you're saying that right now, I'm seeing people, small acts of kindness. And what I was just somebody opening a door for someone else to come
Doesn't
through.
That make you feel so good?
And then saying, thank you. Or something like, because some people just just walk through it. Just you know what, give a second to say thank you, or hold that and say something nice about somebody. Just engage to give. And then I would say also eye contact with a smile. If nothing else, eye contact with a smile or a simple smile, you can change somebody's day and bring light just by opening a door for someone, or someone dropping something and you picking it up. I've just seen just a small thing. It's almost like shock.
Yeah,
like
because we're not used.
We need to get back into that love and gratitude and acts of kindness that can really that starts and changes the whole base.
Raise the vibration.
Absolutely, someone's day, someone's giving somebody a compliment or a simple smile and eye contact. I love it.
Compliment people. My favorite thing.
Really,
I love it because they're like, "Thank you."
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing.
But just as simple as opening a door, but small acts of kindness
and the acknowledgement of that is also super important. Like we said, it's like a circle.
Yeah.
Somebody opens a door for you, you say thank you. That everyone feels good in this situation. No one's walking away feeling, upset. But when you open the door for someone and they just walk through it, you're welcome. Like you get that a lot, right?
Yeah.
You're welcome. Like now nobody feels good. Right?
Just do it because you want to do it too. I mean, just having 100%.
Just having the awareness, and usually that's why people do it until they don't get a thank you, and then they're like,
I do it, and internally I say a little blessing over the people, like internally, like I hope your day is amazing. Sometimes I'll say it out loud, but sometimes it's just I don't know what they're dealing with, but I hope I hope it's amazing for them today. Yeah. If you're listening to this podcast, this is some homework. Do a really, even a small act of kindness for someone, opening a door, maybe if you're in Starbucks, paying for the people's coffee behind you, or just something like this. Pass on the love and pass on the gratitude for this season that we're in, going into November. So we're grateful for you. You guys have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.